magistrate reached a verdict. I have guilty or innocent. Spare me this mockery of justice.
Do we want to talk about the divorce, like, or should I just end the episode?
Well, what do you think about the divorce there, Chris?
Sorry, what divorce?
The fact that the new Punisher series ended with them, like, with Doctor Strange, like, fantasy banging Frank into another dimension with, like, red fire.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened.
That his wife, like, whenever his wife somehow was revealed to him that she was going to divorce him, and that she did not approve of any of his of any of his punishing, so that his entire existence was, like, erased, like, hypothetically or whatever.
Yeah. No, we talked about that a bit in the tournament. I do not like that. It's too pat. It's just like the idea that, like, she was going to divorce him on the same day that she was going to, that she died, and, like, launch the Punisher. Just, dude, that's shitty writing. Fuck you. Yeah,
it's there's a lot of writers, and even we'll get to this, but even Garth Ennis will raise the specter of, like, when he encounters Microchip, and he's just like, yes, you need, like, you'll come to this, you face the fact that you're using your family as justification for your atrocities.
But that's where it's handled beautifully, because it's implication. Like, it could be true. Yes. I mean, I think it is true, but, like, Frank is not admitting that to himself.
But we'll go back to what we said. He just doesn't care anymore. Like, none of that shit matters. Like, he's just, like, he has a pathology, and he's going to embrace it and fuck.
He's on, like, autopilot. Yeah, I think we talked a little bit about that one time too, that he's, like, sort of transcended into more of, like, honestly, more of, like, a spirit of death. Like, his powers are almost, like, supernatural at this point.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and that whole, like, that argument and that sort of, like, story arc with the wife and stuff is kind of gone. Like, if you're still using that now, like, or if you're still relying on that now when you're writing the Punisher, like you say, you're just either you're lazy or stupid, or you shouldn't be handling the material. It's not valuable to anybody.
Yeah, well, those are all very harsh statements for someone who hasn't read the story, but it's not actually that bad. It's just not for me. It's absolutely not for me. It'd be for the reasons you stated. It's just, like, he's so far beyond this, but, like, no one's ever taken the time to ask the question, and I'm not saying they should have, but no one's ever said, what would Maria think of this? Like, what if Maria were here today and would confront the Punisher as his ex-wife, as Mike Baron would say it, what would that drama look like? And
well, here's the thing, that's retarded.
That's fair.
No one would want to know that, because everybody knows what that would look like.
Yeah, and it doesn't come off well.
Oh my God, you're killing 1 million people on my behalf? That's horrific.
A good point.
Thanks. Yeah. Great. I knew that.
Yeah. You don't need to see it. Yeah.
I don't fucking, nobody wanted that. And it's dumb. It's fucking, it's not a thing. It's an obvious thing that's in the background of everyone's mind when they see the Punisher kill one mobster. It's like, well, he does that in the name of his family. Ugh, that's uncomfortable. That's the whole fucking reason for the Punisher. Of course she would not want him to do that. He's lost it. That's the fun.
Women are like that.
Taking the piss on that is taking the whole fun. It's like, let's take the fun here, rip it out, make it stupid, and then ask questions that are, like, their redundancy is, like, they don't, it's already on the table. Like, no one wanted that displayed. It was obvious.
Yeah. I only want to defend this story a little bit just because it was kind of entertaining, but I'll agree that what is happening here is an ideological maneuver that everybody sees, which is, you described it as he wokeness is himself out of existence, So they bring back
using that word, but I also love using it.
No, it's fine. It's like it's in this instance, like I don't know if it's not necessarily wokeness, but it's like so the wife comes back and she's like I don't want to be part of this. And Frank's off the rails, like actually a little bit worse. He does some pretty horrific things in the name sort of his family. He becomes like anyway, doesn't matter.
You know what?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, finish your thought.
Oh, and then yeah, like when faced with the truth, he chooses to like use the power that he has because he has some sort of special power. It's not Doctor Strange that does this, and he commits suicide essentially, but he doesn't. He goes into another dimension to protect children. So he's not punishing. It's so fucking transparent.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's
just why do we have to keep messing with kids? Like Wazarski's doing that too.
Well, the Punisher's like, and I've hammered on this time and again in the War Journal, is just like this the surety of his righteousness is the fact that he hangs, like children trust him. He protects children, therefore he's not really bad, right? It's the reverse angle of the fridging is the motivation. So they eliminate the fridging. And they wish him out of existence, and then they just stick to the part about him being a good person. They're like, oh, just put him with them kids for a bit.
He is fucking bad, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why is that wrong?
Right. Well, I think
about a bad person, and if you can't write it properly, then what are you doing?
That's it. I think like for a long time, Marvel to some extent, I don't want to give him too much credit, but trusted the reader. Like, I think even listening to Dixon talk about Frank, like he will often say that he's the villain in his own story. Like that's fundamental to what he sees Frank as. But I mean, it is true that a lot of readers don't get that. So but to put it right up in front and just like beat people over the head with it, it takes the tension from the story. It takes the like whatever, because the Punisher can be very monotonous. Like he's just a guy who's always going to kill people. Like that's
true. Yeah, like Garth does that. Like he gives you that with his like that's the ones James like with the Dylan stories where he like does exactly what Chris just described, and there's no tension. It's just insanity. Just people's heads people getting shot in the forehead with dumb looks on their faces.
Yeah, so there's got to be some sort of tension that keeps you going, and if you're just gonna be up in front with it, it's just boring.
Yeah, I think
I'll take that.
Well, there's and lots of writers. I think like having reviewed a lot of. I haven't read all the Punisher runs, but I've like sampled. I'd say all the Punisher runs at this point. I haven't read all of them. I'm just saying I'm sampled, right? And I think it's a lesson that Chuck understands and Garth understands and Mike Barron understands and some few other writers understand is that, but others like they don't portray him as the villain of the story. There's something. They take the Tom Selleck elements of him, but they don't take the Dirty Harry, Death Wish elements of him. And you need both those for the Punisher.
Yeah.
And like my perception at this point is that many people don't have that fundamental lesson. They're just unable to do it somehow. Like it's a failure of their own imagination to just like go to that really dark place where Tom Selleck and Death Wish meet. that's you don't want that.
I'm so curious as to what you would think of the show still.
Oh, I would love to. I do want to, like, I'm going to sample all, like, this is, there's a problem happening over here, and I'm definitely going to watch the show. I'm going to watch all the movies.
This is going to make you the, what do you call it? What's the word?
Premier Punishologist?
Yes.
Yes, that was on the tip of my tongue.
Now, all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.